In the timeless stillness of a sleepy hill town, nestled between golden meadows and whispering pine forests, lived a girl named Layla. She was the daughter of a seamstress, with calloused hands but dreams as delicate as the embroidery her mother sewed into shawls. Layla had known poverty all her life, not the kind that simply lacked gold, but the kind that made her feel unseen. Her world was stitched from humble silences, kind glances, and the scent of jasmine tea that lingered even in winter. And then came Arif, a man whose name carried weight in the air, like the scent of oud on a silk scarf. A successful entrepreneur, he returned to the town after years abroad. But his smile, though gentle, carried shadows, of a love lost to time, of a wife buried beneath layers of grief. A widower, yes, but not broken. In his presence was calm, in his voice, poetry. He was in his late 30s, worldly, wise, and devastatingly elegant. And his eyes, those eyes, saw Layla. It started with small exchanges, a nod at the market, a kind word when her scarf slipped in the wind. Slowly, fate, that silent conspirator, braided their paths. Arif saw in Layla not just beauty, but grace, a kind of raw honesty that money could never buy. And Layla? She felt seen, truly seen, for the first time, not as a poor girl, not as a commoner, but as a soul. One evening, under the old sycamore tree where the sky turned shades of fire and rose, he said it. Not with grandeur, not with a diamond ring, but with a trembling voice and eyes full of conviction. Layla, if you knew how long I've waited to feel again. I don't want a bride who matches my wealth. I want someone who matches my silence, my longing. I want you. Her heart thundered in her chest. But love is not always a fairy tale kissed by moonlight. Layla stepped back, fear flooding her. You are everything I am not, she whispered. You wear suits I've only seen in magazines. You dine in places I cannot even spell. What do I offer you, Arif, except threadbare clothes and borrowed dreams? He smiled, the kind that broke a man open. You offer me peace. Do you think I need silk when your presence feels softer than anything I've worn? Do you think your dreams are borrowed when you've stitched your own life from nothing? But still, Layla wrestled with demons deeper than wealth. She feared judgment. She feared not being enough. The townspeople already whispered, how dare a girl of no name dream of a man who once dined with ministers and flew across oceans? She began to distance herself. She would hide behind stalls in the bazaar, pretend not to see him walk by. But even then, even in the retreat, her heart would ache, like a violin refusing to stay silent. One day, her mother found her weeping quietly, clutching a silk ribbon. Why do you cry for a happiness that knocks and you won't open the door for? Because I fear I will never be worthy. Her mother held her face and said, Child, worth is not me measured in gold. It is measured in the weight of love you are brave enough to carry. And that evening, Layla did something she had never dared, she went to Arif's home. Not dressed in fine silk, not painted in makeup. Just herself, wearing a faded blue dress, the color of distant skies. He opened the door, stunned, and before he could speak, she said. I may not be rich in coin, Arif, but I can be rich in loyalty. I cannot promise you luxury, but I can promise you presence. If you still want a girl with trembling hands and an unsure heart, I'm here. He took her hands, trembling as she said, and kissed them gently. I don't want perfection, Layla. I want the truth. And you are the most honest thing this life has ever given me. That year, under the sycamore tree that had witnessed their beginnings, they married, quietly, but with a love that echoed louder than any celebration. Some mocked, some gossiped. But they didn't care. Because love, real love, doesn't ask for permission from the world. It grows where it is watered, with patience, truth, and the courage to be seen. Layla, once afraid, now walked beside him, not behind. She didn't change to fit his world. Instead, he allowed his world to soften, to fit hers. He built a reading corner for her beside the window, where she would write in her journal. And she embroidered a shawl for him every winter, each thread carrying a poem of their silent language. Years passed, but their love did not fade. It matured, like a well-aged wine, bittersweet, full of depth, and intoxicating to the soul. And whenever someone would ask him why he, a rich, educated man, married a poor girl with no titles, he'd simply smile and say, "Because she was the only one who saw my brokenness, and didn't try to fix it. She just stayed. And that was enough." Moral of the story: love doesn't come dressed in diamonds. Sometimes, it comes with chipped teacups, quiet glances, and borrowed books. And the richest hearts are those who dare to love without a guarantee, only with faith.